Good afternoon. Could you please tell us your name and where you're from?
Hi, my name is Rita and I'm from Romania.
Okay. Rita, could you please describe how people behave during conflict in Romania?
Because we are a Latin people, we are bringing our feelings in each discussion. So all the time then we arrive to a conflict, we start to bring our feelings in and to yell out to each other just for have more arguments, arguments for our topic and for our idea. For example, I remember once I had a very big fight with my director at the school, and for, I don't remember, probably more than 1 hour, we kept to give each other arguments and to and back, trying to convince the other that each one has right. And we start to yell out to each other like two not normal people. And we ended to agree finally, and after that she told me, do you know what, I want to grab a coffee and after that I will just drop you home. So, for example, in my people's background, let's say, it's not very abnormal thing to yell out to each other and to agree finally on something.
So you yelled at each other for an
Yeah.
hour and then you went and you had a cup of coffee
Yeah,
together.
and she dropped me home, she gave me a ride without problems. And the next day, it was the next day without feelings and without
So
bad feelings.
no hard feelings, you just
No.
continued life.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you recall an example of a time when you used patterns of conflict from Romania here in Canada?
Yeah, I find it very interesting, the fact that sometimes when I'm trying to argue with someone who is not from Europe, so who is born in Canada, I notice the fact that I'm pushing and I'm coming up with more and more arguments, and sometimes I just raise a little bit my voice just for underlining what I want to say, and the other person just stop the conversation or is feeling uncomfortable in the situation. And then I realize that here in Canada people are not acting like I am, and they are administrating the disagreement, the conflict differently. So yeah, I can say that I'm bringing that impulse of pushing and adding arguments for getting to my idea.
Right. Okay. And how long have you been in Canada now?
A year.
A year. Okay. Rita, can you recall an example of when you experienced conflict with a Canadian, and can you describe what happened and how you resolved the situation?
I had a conflict with the landlady, and the topic was some extra costs that appeared in winter, and I wasn't I couldn't avoid the situation, and we had a discussion because I challenged her to explain me.
A question, did you yell at her at any point? Did you raise your voice?
No.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
Here in Canada, I'm starting to paying more attention to my way of to my behavior in conflicts.
Okay. Interesting. Why is that?
Because the first thing is I won't end where I want to with someone who is not reacting in my way.
Right.
And the second, probably I will just cut out of the discussion if I continue to be what I am.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you very much for having this conversation with me today.
Thank you. my behavior in conflicts.
Okay. Interesting. Why is that?
Because the first thing is I won't end where I want to with someone who is not reacting in my way.
Right.